People's Daily hastily deletes old article. China expected to enter high-income stage in 2024. China expands access to loans for property developers, acting to end its prolonged debt crisis. CCP's global crackdown, major threat to Chinese students and scholars in the U.S. China blizzard, 12 provinces close 1,000 plus road sections, 60 vehicles in Henan pileup. It's all covered in today's China Truths. People's Daily hastily deletes old article. China expected to enter high-income stage in 2024. On January 31st, Weibo netizens forwarded an article titled "China is expected to enter the high-income stage from 2024" published by the People's Daily in June 2016. The article begins by pointing out that at present, our country has entered the upper middle income stage, and there is no great suspense about it taking another 6 or 7 years to cross the middle income trap and enter the ranks of high-income countries. The article, written by Xingbing Wen, a researcher at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, outlines China's economic development in 4 stages: low income, 1978 to 1998, lower middle income, 1999 to 2009, upper middle income, 2010 to 2023, and high income, expected to begin around 2024. It emphasizes that achieving a high-income economy does not automatically make it developed. Comprehensive evaluation is necessary. The author anticipates that, with no major disruptions, China will overcome the middle-income trap in the next 6 to 7 years. Xing also notes that per capita indicators for moderately developed countries align with South Korea's per capita gross national income of $27,000 in 2015. Predicting China's per capita income to reach $26,000 to $30,000 by 2035, the article labels this period as the 5th stage of economic development. Success in this phase is crucial for fulfilling China's centenary goal and the Chinese dream of national rejuvenation. After going viral, the article attracted official attention, leading to the removal of the original People's Daily text. Mainland Chinese citizens continue to discuss the matter, expressing dissatisfaction and making humorous comments, including critiques of the Bureau of Statistics. The National Bureau of Statistics of China released data on residents' income and consumption expenditures on January 17, 2023. In 2023, the per capita disposable income of Chinese residents averaged 39,218 yuan, around $5,500 annually, or 3,268 yuan, $460 per month, while the national median per capita disposable income stood at 33,036 yuan, around $4,600 annually, or 2,753 yuan, $390 per month. For the same year, China's per capita consumption expenditure of residents was 26,796 yuan, approximately $3,700, reflecting a nominal increase of 9.2% from the previous year and a real increase of 9% after adjusting for price factors. Notably, the per capita service consumption expenditure of national residents rose by 14.4%, constituting 45.2% of the per capita consumption expenditure, a 2.0 percentage point increase from the previous year. In 2020, the late Chinese Prime Minister Li Keqiang openly acknowledged that China had 600 million individuals with low and middle income, averaging a monthly income of about 1,000 yuan, approximately $140, sparking widespread discussion. Amid the ongoing discussions in Chinese society, the National Bureau of Statistics affirmed that the monthly per capita income of these 600 million people is indeed 1,000 yuan, $140, based on data from National Household Income and Expenditure and Living Conditions surveys. Notably, the combined number of households in the low income and lower middle. China expands access to loans for property developers, acting to end its prolonged debt crisis. China has introduced new regulations to broaden property developers' access to commercial bank loans, part of Beijing's intensified efforts to address the prolonged crisis in the real estate industry. The policies will allow real estate companies to use bank loans pledged against commercial properties such as offices and shopping malls to repay their other loans and bonds and to cover operating expenses. They were announced late Wednesday by the People's Bank of China, the National Financial Regulatory Administration, and the Finance Ministry. Beijing has moved this week to stabilize ailing financial markets and boost the economy by freeing up more money for lending in various ways. That includes cutting required bank reserves. Dozens of developers have defaulted on their debts after the Chinese Communist Party cracked down on excessive borrowing in the industry several years ago. The largest, China Evergrande, is still trying to resolve more than $300 billion in debts, and a Hong Kong court is due to hold a hearing on its restructuring plans next week. The latest policies are not a full reversal of the effort to rein in debt and control risks in the property industry. The new rules say the bank loans cannot be used to buy commercial housing or rental housing or to start new construction or buy land. Loans cannot exceed 70% of the appraised value of the property being used as collateral and should generally last a maximum of 10 years, with an absolute limit of 15 years. They also order banks to fully conduct due diligence before and after loans are issued to mitigate and minimize risks. It's unclear what impact the new rules might have on the overall crisis gripping the property market. Land sales have long been a major revenue source for local governments that now are grappling with mounting debts. At the same time, stalled construction of new homes has hit contractors and suppliers of construction materials and home furnishings. In a research note, UBS economists said the pace and potential size of such loans remain uncertain as banks will likely watch the commerciality and risks of such loans. But they added that the move was a significant step to increase support for developers. Sales of new homes and home prices have been falling, discouraging consumers from spending since Chinese families tend to have much of their wealth tied up in property. The industry as a whole accounts for about a quarter of business activity in China. The UBS report said, for developer financing to fundamentally and sustainably improve, property sales need to stop falling and start to recover, which could require more policy efforts to stabilize the property market. CCP's global crackdown, major threat to Chinese students and scholars in the U.S. On Thursday, February 1st, the American human rights organization Freedom House released a report stating that foreign authoritarian governments, including the CCP, are taking dangerous actions to intimidate international students, visiting scholars, as well as faculty and staff in the United States. The report contends that transnational repression by authoritarian governments has become a common threat on U.S. campuses, specifically naming the Chinese Communist regime as the most significant threat to international students, emphasizing that U.S. campuses are not doing enough to protect vulnerable students, scholars, and uphold academic freedom. The report, based on interviews with international students, scholars, and faculty members in the U.S., reveals that between 2014 and 2022, 38 foreign governments directly orchestrated 854 incidents of transnational repression across 91 countries. These incidents ranged from assassinations, beatings, detentions, and illegal deportations, representing only a fraction of the actual occurrences. While physical assault incidents were relatively rare in the U.S. during this period, with only 6 recorded, non-physical forms of authoritarian transnational repression, such as online harassment, digital surveillance, hacking, spyware, threats, and intimidation of foreign family members, were prevalent. Yana Gorokovskaya, Director of Strategy and Design Research at Freedom House and one of the report's authors, noted the difficulty in comprehending that individuals residing in the U.S. or Canada should heed directives from foreign authoritarian governments. She emphasized that universities should be spaces for open dialogues on democracy and other sensitive issues. In recent years, U.S. universities have witnessed increasing internationalization, with over 1 million foreign students studying in the U.S. by 2023, and 1 in 5 professors on U.S. campuses being foreign-born. Grady Vaughn, another author of the report and a fellow at Freedom House, highlighted the positive aspects of these global connections but also underscored the downside of making U.S. universities more vulnerable to repression from abroad. The report asserts that transnational repression severely limits international students' ability to engage in political discussions or world events in classrooms abroad, as they fear being reported or monitored. For visiting scholars seeking academic freedom, transnational repression extends the reach of authoritarian control into their new workplaces. Additionally, the report highlights that transnational repression by foreign governments restricts teachers from freely discussing their research. In some cases, educators can only continue their work cautiously, mindful of potential risks to themselves and their families. Some instances of harassment on U.S. campuses, according to the report, result from direct action by foreign governments, such as when a foreign graduate student attending a human rights seminar was instructed by officials from his country's embassy to report on his classmates' class discussions. The report refrains from disclosing names or countries involved to protect those individuals. It is well known that the Chinese government encourages such campus whistleblowing. This threat directly impacts not only those targeted by the government but also everyone on campus, narrowing academic freedom and suppressing open discussion. Grady Vaughn stated, "This erodes the environment on American campuses, emphasizing the damage to classroom dialogues." The report concludes by offering recommendations for action to safeguard freedom of speech and academic freedom on U.S. campuses. Establish standardized definitions and common strategies for addressing transnational repression, increasing awareness among students and professors. Create mechanisms for reporting foreign influence or harassment incidents, including protecting the rights of those accused of acting on behalf of foreign governments. Issue statements supporting students and scholars affected by transnational repression, emphasizing the university's commitment to freedom of speech and academic freedom. Include explanations of transnational repression and its warning signs in existing student and faculty codes of conduct. Collaborate with other colleges and academic associations to discuss and share strategies for addressing transnational repression. While some universities have already begun taking action, the report calls for broader and more systematic efforts to address this critical issue. Additionally, a joint committee of Australian higher education and government officials has drafted guidelines to protect students and scholars from foreign interference while maintaining academic openness. China blizzard, 12. Provinces close 1,000 plus road sections, 60 vehicles in Henan pileup. Over 1,000 road sections across 12 provinces in China have been closed due to heavy snowfall. Henan province, in particular, is experiencing the most significant snowfall since the beginning of this winter, with snow accumulating to ankle-deep levels. The Henan Provincial Meteorological Observatory issued warnings for blue snow, yellow road icing, and blue strong winds on January 31st. The large-scale snowfall in Henan is expected to persist until February 5th. As a consequence of rain, snow, and freezing conditions, numerous tourist attractions in Henan, including popular spots in Luoyang, Sumadian, Hebei, and others, have temporarily closed, with the reopening dates to be announced later. Icy roads in Henan have led to traffic accidents, including a multiple vehicle collision on the Buzhou section of the Yanluo Expressway on February 1st. Witnesses reported approximately 5 to 60 vehicles involved, resulting in 6 to 7 injuries. As of 8 o'clock on February 1st, a total of 784 road passenger lines in Henan have been suspended, affecting 8 cities and airport areas, including Luoyang, Pingdingshan, Anyang, and Hebei. Additionally, 24 bus terminals were suspended, and 222 out of 424 expressway toll stations were closed. The China Railway Group Zhengzhou Bureau has suspended 13 trains on the same day. Beyond Henan, several provinces in China, such as Shandong, Shaanxi, Gansu, and others, have also experienced road closures due to snowfall. As of 8 o'clock on February 1st, a total of 80 road sections in Hebei, Shaanxi, Inner Mongolia, Liaoning, Heilongjiang, Anhui, Shandong, Henan, Hubei, Shaanxi, Gansu, and Ningxia were closed, with 1133 toll stations shut down. The Central Meteorological Observatory has issued consecutive warnings for heavy snow, heavy fog, and strong winds. Central and eastern China, starting from January 31st, is witnessing the most severe winter weather since 2009. By 8 o'clock on February 1st, snow accumulation reached 5 to 10 centimeters in some areas of Henan, Shandong, and Shaanxi. It is anticipated that snowfall will intensify in northern Anhui, western Tibet, and other regions on the 1st, with a snow depth of 10 to 12 millimeters. The Central Meteorological Observatory predicts heavy snow in parts of Henan, Anhui, Hubei, and Tibet from 8 o'clock on the 1st to 8 o'clock on the 2nd, accompanied by northerly to northeasterly winds and gusts in the Bohai Sea, Bohai Strait, and most of the Yellow Sea. Additionally, dense fog is expected in several areas, with visibility dropping below 500 meters, and in some places, falling below 200 meters. A freezing orange warning was issued at 10 o'clock on February 1st, indicating persistent freezing rain in specific areas of Henan, Hubei, Anhui, Jiangsu, Guizhou, Hunan, Chongqing, and others from February 1st to 4th. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.